Okay, it's 4:30, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Nancy, would you call the roll, please? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
And before you is a draft of the agenda for tonight's meeting. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? Sorry. Here.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. And before you is our copies of the special meeting minutes of February 24th and also the last meeting of February 17th. So take a few minutes to look those over.
Steve, how are you?
All right, how are you?
Trying to keep growing.
Man, good luck.
You had a chance to look them over?
I'm slow reader, I'm sorry.
Okay, take a couple more minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes of February 17th?
I didn't see any. Excuse me.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And what about the special meeting of February 21st?
I make a motion, we approve them as presented by the fiscal officer.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Yes.
Ready? Yes. Carol?
Yes. Thank you, Nancy.
Dawn.
Try to keep an eye on
Yeah.
Hot on the old town. It's a second,
Yes. How's everybody?
Good.
Well, how are you?
Good.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion that we renew purchase orders and license certificates and pay the bills. Second. Yes. In favor, Joey? Yes. Hubert?
Yes.
Thank you.
That radio buddy? It's new.
Let's see. Take that radio out there before the college.
I give you the scanner so you can listen to this. What's not in?
It's a chair right here.
It gets cozy.
No, turn it around. No.
I don't want to carry weapons because it gets my probation.
This call out, you know?
All that for pilot. Was it for fire? Yeah, that was that.
That's what we want to consult.
Oh, that's okay.
Where's your glass?
Did they really say place?
Session night.
Anybody want to sit up here? You guys good?
I don't know, some of these places are not. That's really good.
Took it with you, and then they said, how do you throw the out or something?
They said you were strong ground.
I looked around for it, just almost.
Hey, Darren.
Seems to be a lot of water.
Downspout.
Frozen.
Alright.
My dad goes in
I got
and
Patsy.
he's worried about it. He took it out, shook it, came out, he feel better. Somebody's got to get
That's always gotta be somebody, right? She's eating for 2 more.
Just 3 days. We're in the week this
you.
month.
John Deere
This
decided
Monday through Friday.
to blow a, I dropped a video.
Sorry about that. I'll send that later.
There's a week that
On something else.
Well, I guess it's I leave
Right.
Friday, Saturday, that's what I just
And
say.
cars. Yep, and all that. The seal decided to go out of it. And, I beat it out. Quarter, maybe quarter, now on the driveway, it's 4 passes. Depending on the sex. Well, it holds, they don't hold like. And, so I was wanting to tear it. Parts. That's good. Should be. But you gotta pay transaction on it.
You want to bet how long or how many
You
items
guys
are
are connected
connected?
on
You're trying to figure out this way.
So I didn't wait. Now, I there's some evening. I thought about doing that too.
They said they're worried about that. So they're afraid it's gonna flood downtown, they start thinking, well, the snow's over, it's season.
I'm hoping our dad will just send it out.
I'd be worried about what you're eating.
I've got 800 hours on it. But I guess this has been one of the problems. So about 800 hours, there's sealed, 700, 800 hours sealed.
Not that it was turned, it's all.
Well, mine was. Mine's on each lane, also on the water cooler. It's a 445.
Just went to get gas, and cardboard work.
Mine can be bigger. Mine.
Do they put in an agenda
Anything bigger
out?
has to be.
Do they put in an agenda out for the
Gas doesn't.
So Doug got gas station there. But then I called after.
You got, do you do that for
I
your,
called
yours?
each firm.
We have a standard agenda, but we don't lay it out every
What they said was.
Put it on the
was
your
only,
website?
like you could fill it twice.
Just
a
always
day
the
or
same?
something like that.
You can fill it next day.
Gotcha. So I changed that to, I forget, I have written down some.
But you upped it so that it was
I did,
possible.
yes, because there was like so much you could spend, because they give you so many times per card. And you know, because they were running all day long, you know, or about that, so it's all straightened out in the future, but that's what the.
Makes sense to me.
Thank you,
Hello, sir. How are you?
Sandy, sir, how about you?
Good. I thought you were those tonight.
Around
Because over the intercom, they said Steve Little come to blah, blah, blah. I said, there can't be two of them.
Yeah, there are. Same middle initial. Yeah. Actually used to both live on rural out 2 phrases for it. Oh, kids.
You need to get him a tablet so you can listen to the scanner online.
Look at it, the kid a damn radio, dude.
I get them.
Oh.
Yeah, that's special.
No, I didn't chew the antenna.
Oh,
so-
okay.
Mike must have had a night ball one night.
You roll every beer, you find
Yeah.
John, it's too much money.
That right, Mike. You got worker money, brother.
Huh?
They aren't gonna use money for use to. They see where the airport.
They burned the house down in Madison Township the other day too.
That's the third fire out there in the last, like, 3 weeks. Yep. This one was the
Trying to
last
stay
one.
warm.
Last one was the chief's dog.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's, I think it's just, he uses Republic Wireless, it's a Russian company.
Look at the building supply paramedics.
This is about to exceed occupancy, aren't we?
You can count yourself, too, but. I don't know.
People and driving.
Yes.
That's the end of the room.
I'll start taking days off.
Sorry, yeah.
Almost every time I can get it.
But you take Fancy's check though.
Right. Oh my God, right.
You want my two ones?
You're willing to come to him?
Life's a life,
I
right?
think everybody got their checks.
So go in front.
I missed
Do
a
this.
few.
Are you?
Yeah, just a few.
Right over there.
Oh, you do? Okay.
My son worked. Last time he was on his
Initial check that we did before you went out.
Did we?
And we got, they got last night.
Yeah, I was on cruise last night.
It was just me. I grabbed my pants and I was like, yeah, I said you guys have a reason.
No, it was.
Did you hit your voice up?
Yeah.
That's the fun.
Yeah. I don't like this one.
Was it rising? What's the new one? That's a little bit bigger than that one, right? Or they had the gigantic one too, right?
I wasn't sure. Just until I was at the mark. So I can remove. But I don't know if they full system and then I'll just wait.
Mallory's saying she got it through the X program. I didn't even know what it did.
Okay.
So she only paid like $5.
Got all the bills taken care of.
The bill.
We need to have an executive
It
session.
was like, there was no charge on it at all.
There it is. At this time,
You want to do an executive session to? Yes, I would. Do you want to do it now or do it at the end of the meeting?
whatever works best.
It doesn't matter. You wanna wait till the end of the meeting, that way, if you have it here, people don't have to go out in the rain, or we can go over in the shop.
It doesn't matter, I mean, it's the next thing on the agenda, but,
I'll go ahead and do it now then.
Okay.
Jimmy.
Is it warm over there?
Yeah,
And-
just one,
and
Good
what,
work,
what's the purpose?
discuss personnel,
Stand here
the same reasons last meeting.
As far as the promotion, demotion,
Hiring.
hiring,
Yeah,
disciplinary action, all the reasons in accordance with 121.22, paragraph
Yes.
G1 of the revised code.
my memory serves me, yes.
Exactly what she said.
It shouldn't be long.
That's exactly what it is. Okay, just a second, okay. Okay, so at the request of the administrator, I'd like to make a motion that the board enter into executive session for the purpose to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or public employees in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 121.22, paragraph G1. And it's 5:00. Is there a second to the motion?
Karen?
Yes?
Jody? Yes. Rick?
Yes. And myself and Steve ought to be in there, if you wanna put that in the minutes.
Okay.
Across the street.
Bring your stuff with
Put your rain hat on.
Have to swing across there.
Just let it,
How are you?
you. Put this stuff back in your
Hit the door.
No minutes?
Do you need help, Nancy?
Alright.
Fair stuff. Big swoop. Where's Alan?
Sick.
We're back on the 40.
I don't know if he knows enough about your area and what they're talking $3,000.
It's missing 3.
There's an idea of sign cost there.
Next time when we're done.
Could turn the heat off on it.
It was bad.
Nancy, did you say Alan said?
Somebody says, can you, unhook the, I'm like,
Huh?
yeah.
Tried to go
Has it
today.
been long enough?
So probably dusty.
Hey Matthew,
We'll find out.
you want some chicken? Huh? You good one? Here. You can have them all, I'm done. You're welcome.
What?
Magnets, what they do is they look at them every time you go to the retreat. No one goes to
You're my
magnets.
boyfriend, right?
No, they don't.
Now me.
I'm just teasing you.
There's some. I'm trying to think so.
Rain slowed down.
You're not gonna need as much.
That's good. So freeze
I'm
it.
not, it isn't about issue. I cannot think of enough places.
You put that many?
I'm down to 3 this March.
Been a lot of things that's not been allowed to do this year, but it did anyway.
You know, because I'm gonna need
Who's Haley? In the car?
No, not
3
the
or
neighbors.
5.
No, she's just running wild in the engine bay.
He said, no, he
I'm sorry?
He said.
Going down Thursday at 10.
Still playing traffic.
Don't play
Four
that.
way. It looks like a
Practice
One of
man.
those things that you don't have to have, but it'd be
Or
okay.
Chad.
There's this baby sitting out in the median. Right after that intersection, right where the concrete barrier comes up.
It's right where the road dead end. So everybody comes up that road.
Is that up Dayton Road?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I saw that, yeah.
You go in, go up and
It's
get
got
one drag.
leather,
As soon as you get to the stop sign.
HID headlights,
There on Shalimar Road. You stop at the stop sign, you're looking at
HID, I don't know what's going on. Really bright white headlights.
it's like the blue one.
No, they're not the blue ones, they're really bright.
Left out.
Yeah, those right there.
Like couldn't bring it back.
Not the Xeons or whatever they do.
Okay, thanks everybody for your patience. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to exit the executive session, terminate that, and it's at 5:48. Is there a second?
Second.
Karen? Yes. Rick?
Yes.
Sterling? Yes. And there again, just to reiterate, the purpose of the executive session was to consider the employment, appointment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of public employees in accordance with revised code 121.22 G1. Okay, at this time, we'll have a call for reports. Nancy, do you have any reports?
But she has that new budget line. That's what I was thinking. So. Yeah, we might have to do it.
Yep.
Freaking kidding me?
Fund staff,
4 to 7.
Centimeters?
Copy of the fund staff.
We don't need to get any. No sure. If we don't put our names on both of them together. I know a lot.
Appropriations recommendation if you guys want to previous year, so you can either do that or if you guys want to make changes, we can figure out this is kind of back and it goes with it. Okay? I didn't know really want to take the, how we do sticky, something straight out of, so right now it's out of the January, but I'm gonna do it out of the January road conservation.
Just, okay,
Which one are you supposed to do?
Which one are you supposed to get?
I think our portion was supposed to be like 77.
But do we have to fund it all up front?
No.
Let's fucking pay it up front.
We'll have to pay our portion. and
But not up front,
then
not
right-
till you.
Right, yeah. Then,
The final invoice is
Yeah.
Close it out.
What happened, Calvin? Did you two jump?
It's out here. He did. It did that.
Okay, so with that, Nancy has prepared the annual appropriation resolution for tonight's meeting, and these are there based on the document that you're looking at, right?
Okay.
Take a minute and look that over if you will.
I've answered it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your first opinion that before it goes on. It has to be done by the end of March, so. Okay, the annual appropriations resolution is presented for adoption at this regular meeting of the Madison Township Board of Trustees. So I'd like to move for the adoption of the resolution, be it resolved by the Board of Madison Township Trustees, Licking County, Ohio, that to provide for the current expense and other expenditures of said Board of Trustees during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2015, the following sums be and the same are hereby set aside and appropriated for several purposes for which expenditures are to be made for and during said fiscal year as follows. The general fund, the total general fund amount is $454,000. Motor vehicle fund, $10,000. The total gasoline tax fund, $75,000. Road and bridge fund, $353,624.66. The general fire fund, $171,538.46. the 2.06 mil fire fund, $167,300. For the total of all funds is $1,231,463.12. Is there a second to the motion?
Second it.
Karen?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes. Excuse me.
You wanna go ahead and fill that up and sign it now?
I'm doing that, there's a.
And here's a supplemental resolution to amend the permanent appropriations that we met in regular session today with all board members present, to increase the general fund for salary of a township administrator and reallocating the funds within the general fund for purchase of a time clock and a lock. So that's to a total change of $11,000.
And actually, that's like, just for the temporary appropriations, so we can, that stuff set up for that, so. So this is the final that's in effect for that.
Is there a motion to reallocate the funds?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Judy? Rick?
Yes.
Judy? Yes.
Makes me think too now.
Anything else?
No, probably needs to be done right now.
Okay. Mark, do you have anything?
Sure. First of all, and Doug, you jump in if you want. On the roads, he gave me an inventory, and we're just reviewing the inventory, make sure everything matches up. If there's anything on there that we happen to miss. We talked about road improvements, road pavements. With the trustees, if we ever get a nice day, we can have a meeting to gather information. If you'd like to review the roads, maybe drive and look at some of the roads. That way we can get an idea, you know, what's budgeted and what we may have to spend next year, because the earlier you bid, I talked to the county engineer last Friday, and even though oil prices have gone down, the paving's not going down yet. So normally you bid early, you can at least get it done before school opens back up, and so that's something just to think about. And, you know, over the next 2 weeks, if you can think, I mean, weather right now the roads, even if the snow's off of them, they look worse than they ever will. You know, till the freezing falls out of them.
The potholes are starting to pop up.
Wow.
Yes. Speaking of potholes, the Durapatcher needs tires on it. You can see the cords in the tires, and they're about $525 from TRF. And I didn't feel comfortable just spending that kind of money yet without your permission. So
That's a total.
roughly $525. So can we go ahead and spend the money?
Is that your only purchase request?
Nope.
We'll let you know.
Keep drinking.
Now, I figure I'll wait a month before I hit the big items that we like to have, but you also need, for the Durapatcher, a PO from Brownsville Propane. Like have it for $500. May not use that much propane, but we need it for Durapatcher. And I don't know if you've been getting calls. Certainly I haven't got any calls. People don't know called me yet, but I think he's done a good job on the roads. You know, him and Jason, and especially that wet snow.
Except for those mailboxes that seem to jump out there.
Well, that's another thing I'd like to discuss is the mailboxes. Would you like to have a policy that if somebody's mailbox is ruined, that you automatically, if they bring a receipt in up to X amount of dollars, up to $30 or $35, you're go ahead and pay for that mailbox?
We looked into the records of the last 7 or 8 years of what was in the minutes and stuff, and did get an opinion from when Jim Miller was the prosecuting attorney, and some other discussion, so we probably do need to revisit that and come
I'd
up with-
revisit, because the way I look at it, is, especially this wet snow,
It's so heavy.
and the next day, they can go around with some drywall screws or galvanized screws and try to fix what they can, but you're gonna get some mailboxes. And somebody's mailbox goes down, they don't wanna wait for a meeting. I mean, if they know they can go out and spend whatever the number is. Madison Township, I think we're $35. We get 1 or 2 here, that somebody actually comes in and they want reimbursed. So, I mean, it's just something to think about. Hopefully, we won't get more snow, so.
Until.
All right.
We're safe till then.
And I just want to point out, if you look in the shop, it's pretty clean. When we were over there, he's done a nice job keeping it clean.
Good job, Doug. Or did Jason do all the work?
Jason did all the work on it. I don't do any of it.
It does look nice over there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, it does, thanks.
They've done a nice job, so. So really, all I'm asking for is $500 and $525 at this point.
I make a motion, we, allow the purchase of tires for the Durapatcher and, open a $500 PO from Brownsville Propane for, also for the Durapatcher.
I'll second that.
Tires from Tira,
Yep.
You Debbie?
yes.
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Okay, now to the fire. Darren, feel free to jump in anytime you like.
Oh, you.
Basically, I met with Darren today. We talked about, inventory for the fire department. Nancy has one, she's gonna get me, that's roughly 3 years old, and Darren thought maybe electronically he might have one, so we're gonna compare them and then update. My big issue is insurance, to make sure that everything is covered that you own, because it's too easy to buy a piece of equipment and forget to call the insurance company, and then, God forbid, you have a tornado come through and then you don't have enough money to cover. So that's something we're working on. The uniform allowance, Darren gave me a copy of the proposed policy. I'm gonna take a look at it. And like I said, what I like to do is put together a packet, email it a couple days before, and that way you have time to review it and email me if any questions. So that'll be coming next meeting. Also, next 2 weeks, I wanna work with Darren on the budget and what POs are needed to keep everything going. I'm hooked up to Google Docs, so I thank Darren for helping do that. The calendar, the reports, if you have questions, ask me. And some of you, we can get you hooked up where you can see the calendars and reports as well. That should answer a lot of questions. billing for, medical billing or billing for EMS. I spoke to a company out of Cincinnati. I called them off because I know Jody's talked to a local person, Darren talked to local people, both of you. There's no use going clear down to Cincinnati to a company. So, you know, hopefully next Tuesday we can get a or 2 weeks, we can get a presentation. And, we might as well be trying to get some of that money, cause it's not gonna help if you don't. I mean, people's
We
insurances won't go down.
We tried to look outside the box and
Yep.
the people wouldn't return our call. I mean, we tried hard, so.
That's all you can do. But there's local people, you know where you local, keep the money local. Trustees, that's all I have on the flyer at this point. Like I said, I'm hoping, right, 2 days or so before the regular trustees meeting, we can get your report on runs and those kind of things.
Okay, so you are thinking about getting the report on runs?
Yes.
Because that was on my list here,
Yep.
things to ask for.
Yep. And if you want anything else, ask me. That's what I'm here for. That's pretty much everything I have on the flyer. 2 weeks will be a little bit busier. Is there anything else you can think of, Darren?
I have the rest of the VIP forms they sent to people, so
And then on the trustees part of it, continue to take a look at some of the policies. I'm sorry, is there any questions more on the fire?
No, that's okay.
Okay. On the trustees, the policies I shared before, just take a look at them, email me comments. And I think there's a credit card policy, there's several of them that we can get in. And I'm surprised, it wouldn't be for the credit card policy, but several of those policies, we got dinged in Madison Township because we didn't have them by the auditor. It just depends on what auditor group that you pull. So, and some of the policies like texting and driving, you don't do that. Another policy I'd like to enact, and I forgot to talk to Darren about it, but it's mainly if there is an accident on any township equipment, they drug test right then, or get drug tested. Sometimes insurance companies, our insurance wants that. So, and that'd be the same thing with the road department if there's an accident. The time clock, I've got one, had to order it from Staples. It's a heavy duty time clock for the road department. And then waste management. I'm still waiting on a response from the prosecutor's office. But waste management came to our trustee meeting last night. And we went ahead and signed the contract because we know we're not gonna get a cheaper price if we rebid it. Waste management, they are, once you do the assignment, then they will send you a new bond, surety bond. You know, and Big O, and I'm surprised you're not getting calls from Big O wanting to get that assigned because they want to get out of it and Waste Management take it over. Waste Management gave me, and I'll email you the name and the number, but it's the service man who's actually in charge of this area, his cell phone. That way if you get phone calls.
Our problem is though about Atkins, since they're local, and
Right.
do we wanna give them a shot?
My only concern is, be careful, but wish what you ask for because of it. Big O, what they did, they bid a lot of stuff, a lot of jobs low. And, I'm just afraid, think about it, but if you rebid it, are you really gonna get those lower prices as Atkins
they
gonna be
could-
that low?
Gotcha.
It's gonna open, it's not like you're bidding the best. You're bidding the best, but it's not like you can bid it and say, no, we don't want any of these, we're gonna keep Waste Management at a lower price. If you can do away with the contract with Big O, not assign it to Waste Management and rebid it, what if it comes in $2-3 higher? It's just something keeping back your mind. But we're here, what the prosecutor's office even says if you can break the agreement.
Right.
So I'd be surprised you don't hear from, what's his name, Dave from Big O or somebody saying we need to. Waste Management told me
I've heard
that,
anything of you.
that's surprising.
You have? From them? Why are they contacting you?
Not me, I mean from a citizen.
Okay, yeah,
Well,
I
I
heard
heard
from
from
citizens,
today,
yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, several citizens.
And I tell you what, you wanna write this number down?
What's it?
The guy's name is Shadid SHADEED, Spence, SPENCE,
And he's with Waste Management.
Waste Management. 614-778-9594. Waste Management is now controlling Big O.
Right. Okay.
So, I mean, that's something hopefully we know in a couple weeks on the prosecutor's office. And, you know, and I'll look at the prices again compared to what we had, but what we looked at Harrison, it wasn't worth taking the chance because everybody else bid $3 higher per month. But I'm not, you know, it's up to you guys. That's everything I have for tonight.
Okay.
Any questions? As always, if you have questions, call me, text me, email me.
Do you know how much salt we have?
A little bit left. You ready to fire me now?
Do we,
How much do we have, Doug?
A little bit left.
do we need to get more?
No.
So, something that we're gonna have to think about next year. By the time you pay the tarps that are getting torn up, you may wanna look at putting a hoop or a roof over. Because this is the bad thing is, right now you could get, another 100 ton maybe through state contract.
Yeah.
And chances are salt never gets cheaper. So it'd be nice if there's a way to go ahead and get that, fill it, but you almost need a roof over to keep it that long. So that's something that, and like I said, once we see the budget and we're take a hard look at what roads and repairs might cost and kind of put together a wish list, because it'd be nice, and they're about $3,200, is get a hot water power washer, a Hotsy. Because you got a lot of nice equipment in that shop and a lot of money invested in it. And you just got, especially with salt on those trucks, just eat them up. And if you had a good Hotsy power washer that, and then you use on the fire trucks underneath. I mean, clean the salt off of them. So, I was afraid to ask her that this time.
So do you think you'll get any more, or, I mean, today was the deadline for the.
Today's the deadline.
So, everything here is good to go then, right? You guys wanna take a look at those?
Here's the ones I was in the packet.
Oh, okay.
I sent out,
So, his list indicates these.
Yes. I called Nancy today and she gave me the names.
Okay.
No, I'm not sure.
when I had sent out papers calling new people that didn't have all the information. Well, that's basically what right there, so.
She did fill it out.
I need an updated address for Glory.
I'm gonna look at it with these, if that's okay, 'cause this is not this. Okay.
Put a lid on it, yeah.
You want to sit down?
No, I'm straight.
Everybody should have like
What's that?
They all fell in line.
Yep. keep that, I don't really need that.
Darren, thank you for the VIP and thank everybody for getting them turned in.
Is there a C-Tech billing question?
Not at this time. Yeah, that's some discussion on that too. We can continue on with the fire department. Were there 2 members elected for the Volunteer Firefighters Dependents Fund Board? Nick had mentioned it the
Their
last
association
meeting.
member.
He-
As far as I know, it was Larry and I, right?
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I remember you said your name. So.
I think it's just a repeat of last year.
Okay, thank you. Darren, you have anything else for fire department?
No, I'm deferred. So he'll have more stuff in 2 weeks after he gets a chance to review it.
Okay. And Nikki, you got the needles okay?
Chief said they were on his desk, so.
Okay. Did you ever get any of the messages that I asked for you to call me?
Did you call my cell phone?
No, I left a message with Kayla the last time. And
Nope.
okay, all right. Sorry about that.
Yeah, the best way to contact me is to call my cell phone, which is automatically stamped every email I send
Okay,
at the very bottom.
okay, great.
Oh, word of caution, those were a prescription item that can't be sent to someone's residence. It violates a pharmacy.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, back to the roads then. On Marne Drive, last fall we submitted a request for engineering assistance for the culvert. In the vicinity of, I think, 190 Marne Drive. And Jared Murr prepared a replacement structure for that. This just has the drawings and the hydraulics, and it meets the ODOT's 10-year design for storm, but there's no cost or anything associated with that. And we just got that yesterday.
How big of a culvert is it?
I don't know if you,
It's
somebody was better.
45 feet long, the structure, and it's gonna put more of a diagonal, and it's a 95-inch span by 67-inch rise corrugated steel pipe with a type A ODOT precast MCS.
So it's 95-inch diameter.
It's a very deep, it's not very wide.
I definitely get the info.
I think March 15th is that the deadline with engineer to ask them?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's, because we submitted that back in October 21st, and we just got it back. With that, I would like to suggest we put that on.
Yeah, because we've had issues with that for years now.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, when you get that to me before the 15th.
yeah.
But isn't there some drainage issues from the road behind mine, north of it?
Oh, that one they stuck in there?
Well, I can't remember the road that's behind it, Martin Drive. That has a cul-de-sac on it?
It's Martin Road.
Yeah, but it drains into that same creek.
Oh, you're meaning Valley View.
Valley, yeah.
Yeah,
And they're always having water problems
yeah,
back
but
in
that's
that
all,
cul-de-sac.
private, and
Right,
the attempts for public ditch petitions never went
because that's what it needs.
anywhere, that's
It
exactly
needs
right.
a ditch from the cul-de-sac down to that same,
But we can't force that.
okay.
I remember that was in two
Before
thousand
3
eight.
what? Before March what?
15th it has to be
Yeah.
submitted. So, I mean, if everybody's okay, we can turn that around and send it back tomorrow. But I want to make sure that we covered that at the meeting tonight. And
Good idea.
I guess I got this one down under new business, but we had talked previously about participating in the Licking County Recycling and Litter Prevention Tire Collection Spring Collection Date on May 16th. And we had suggested that our schedule would be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then they emailed us back saying, well, other townships are gonna do it from 9 to 2. Do we wanna change it and do ours starting at 9? And I said, well, I'd have to bring it up at the meeting to see if we wanted to make it earlier. You guys in agreement to doing a 9 a.m.? Okay. I'll let them know about that. And I think we all got the email from Bill Lozier. My printer was running out of ink, so I didn't print the whole thing off, but they're having a safety training. And it's free, so I think we ought to schedule our highway employees to
Right.
attend that.
Is that the 7th or the 8th? 8th, April.
The thing is, it's close, it's in the neighborhood.
Yep. Yeah, it's good to get it
Okay.
And while we're talking about safety, I talked about it because I like to see us have monthly safety meetings, even if it's just a half hour to talk about chainsaws or, and even if, you know, they go out and they're gonna chip wood or something that day, just take 10 or 15 minutes and talk about the safety aspects of it. So,
And document it.
well, what I do is have them sign off on it.
We can.
You're still there.
Doug, over in Bowling Road, I know you can't do anything right now, but where the daycare is, I know you guys tried to fix that, but it's coming down again.
I got, as soon as it dries up a little bit, I got pipe out in the back of the building to put in up there. I've already talked to her. But the weather got bad before we got up there to do it, but I've already talked to her about the price of it and all that. As soon as we get the weather,
Yeah,
a day or two, then
right now.
I've already got the pipe and all the stuff to put in, and she's gonna pay her share of it, so I talked to her probably November sometime, I would say.
Thanks.
But I'll go up and take a look at it and see if there's something we can do with it temporary, if it's causing a problem up there, so.
Well, you can just see it's just starting to get concave now, so.
Okay.
And while we're talking about pipes in the ditches, I don't think Madison Township, you've never had a right-of-way permit where somebody, a utility company wants to work in your right-of-ways. I shared one with Doug and I'll send you guys also a copy, just kind of take a look at it. Even if you don't charge anything for the permit, at least you know what's going on. And if somebody damages it, you know. And the other, I keep thinking, a policy you may want to do is, if you don't already have it, you don't cut asphalt. If a lot of these utility companies, they're quick wanting to cut roads, I'd make the policy, if you cut a road, you're gonna give us a $10,000 cashier check, not a bond, a cashier's check. But that's the last resort to let them cut your good roads, make them go underneath them. So those are things that we put together and they're a good list for.
Okay. With that, Jody brought in a couple of permits, or is it just a duplicate, or is it for the same? Okay, for Penn Road where they're wanting to access, is this to replace a line?
That CenturyLink or,
The line No, it's National Gas.
Okay.
The current line is right under people's decks and things like that. It's under people's.
There's a main transmission line that runs along Penn Road up here. They're replacing it all the way
Okay.
through. They're up on Miller Ranch right now. So they're going all the way down through there with it's what it is.
You want me to take a look at that and take care of it for you? Or,
Mark already has
okay,
and stamped it.
okay.
Approved.
So it's granting permission to National Gas and Oil Corporation to install a 6-inch coated steel gas main along Penn Road with the pipe specifications of 6.675-inch outer diameter. And that National Gas herein agrees it will save Madison Township trustees their successors from the fines harmless from any and all claims and demands arising out of injuries, including death and or damage to property due to the location, construction, maintenance, operation, removal, replacement, repair and or removal of said gas main or the exercise of any rights, permission hereunder except such loss, cost or damage as may be caused by the sole negligence of the herein trustees, their successors and assigns, and that National Gas and Oil will pay the owner thereof for damages of any property caused by National Gas and Oil, its agents, employees, subcontractors, and or officers while engaged in the exercise of any right herein granted.
Which I bet this is gonna be very similar to the permit you're gonna come up with
Yeah.
for us to look at.
Yeah.
It's clear they've done this before.
And that they will notify the township at least 24 hours in advance of the work to commence. All pipelines will be placed at a depth 3 feet below the ditch line of said road. And where they cross the roads, regardless of gravel or paved, must be bored or driven under the road instead of excavated.
The other thing we wanna make sure, and really Doug needs to take a look at that road, is if they just put that 3 feet below the ditch, let's make sure we don't need to ditch it another foot down the road. I mean, hey, Bob, and I talked to him about it. Because I've seen them on roads that needed ditched, they just still go that 2 or 3 feet, and then you wanna ditch, and then you get in trouble. So,
Do you have a chance to look at it?
No, I knew about it.
For us to keep one copy and to get one back to them.
Oh, yeah? Right here?
Yeah,
So is everybody in agreement to authorize this permit?
yes.
I make a motion to authorize the permit from National Gas and Oil Incorporated.
I'll second that.
Judy, you got sick?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
This is the third.
It is.
Sorry if I took the original back to Dave, or you want to hand over that to me?
Get you off the hill. If you like.
How you been?
Just two of the same thing.
Exact.
Was there anything else for roads?
Near the second month there. It's loaded all the way through your driveway. That's me, though.
John, do you have a zoning report?
Sure. There's been no permits issued since we last met. We have received a dealt with 7 or 8 phone calls. One of them was dealing with trash. The rest of them were more in the area of, you know, what are the requirements. Several of them are inquiring about lot splits. Because if you remember, the county now has removed themselves from that process. So that immediately when a township citizen talks to them, they just don't talk to them and tell them, go see your zoning man. So, and that's fine. So that area has been a lot busier. There's a house on Hazeldale that's going to be sheriff's sale on the 2nd. And there seems to be a lot of questions about that house from the zoning, from people that may be bidding, and a financial institution and stuff like that. But
Where is it?
I don't have the address top of my head, but if you go to Hazeldale, the house has a very large pond in its front yard,
Oh, yeah.
just past the Redmonds. I've also been told that this is the 2nd time it's coming up for sheriff sales, so, you know, sheriff sales are funny things. The zoning commission will meet here on Monday at 7 o'clock to work more on the resolution. So, and I'm working with Austin at the prosecutor's office on a couple, 3 zoning issues. Waiting for him to give me what he thinks we should do. So, but
How do you feel?
I'm getting better.
Good.
So, that's about it.
Thank you.
Today Sue Spiker sent out an email, and like I said, my printer was running out of ink, so I printed off the attachments, but it's time this year for the Public Works, District 17 committee to be nominated or new members appointed, and they are going to have a meeting on Thursday, March the 19th at 7 p.m. at the County Administration Building for townships and villages, for representatives to be nominated. Nominations can be taken from the floor, from each township board and village CEO, and the district will have 1 vote. I currently sit on that committee as a township representative for the 6 counties. That's how we get our roads fixed with public works money. It's a good committee. The engineers from all 6 counties are represented, and I would, you know,
What's the date?
be pleased to serve again. It's March 19th at 7 p.m. at the County Administration Building.
I would like to see you
Jody, you
serve
served
again.
has been appointed as the alternate for that, so I just, like I said, I just got it, I printed it off, I didn't have time to change the,
I'd be happy to be the alternate again.
okay? I just wanted to, you know, share that for some food for thought, so.
Could you just forward the email? Because I didn't get it.
I could do that, yeah. I didn't,
They just take nominations from the floor, Karen?
they do,
Okay.
and then they're going to, you know, prepare ballots, and then they'll send them out to all the townships in the
That's
6 counties and all the villages, and because the county representatives are appointed by the boards of commissioners or, you know, the engineers of those counties, so. But it's been a good,
It's important to have local people in there.
well, it is, and we work hard and fairly distribute the money to everybody that submits an application, so. Thank you for that. You have any correspondence?
A couple of them things.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Here's the resolution for the ICS account.
Okay.
I turned that paperwork into ordinance.
Okay, so this resolution will authorize the opening of an ICS deposit bank account. And it says the Madison Township Board of Trustees met in regular session today, 3rd of March 2015, with all members present. And we've elected to transfer funds from the now sweep account with Park National to an ICS deposit account with Park National Bank. And whereas the money in the ICS deposit account at Park National Bank is NBIC insured and provides greater interest rate earnings, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Madison Township authorize the fiscal officer to enter into agreement with Park National Bank to open an ICS deposit account. So I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the resolution.
Second that. Yeah.
Karen,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Rudy?
Yes.
Are there any other forms that need to be signed or anything, or is
No,
all?
I think everything is, yeah, we turned in our stuff.
I just need to see a resolution here.
If you bring one, put some Febreze in it next time. Smells kind of fishy in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Mark had given us this info.
I know, I'm asking you. You're my weatherman. I'm weather and pavement.
Is that the upstairs, the county? So I don't, if you have something
Right before you get
So that was
Hey, you know, what we should all do, when we come back, we print copies with it.
Okay.
behind the house.
Why not put it just in case you turn it around?
There's valley parking, I'm not going there.
Yeah, I would have oh, yeah.
I didn't quite get on my phone.
I don't know, there's this, they did.
Credit card held by the township.
Then you go to keep one down? Oh, cool.
That's all, yeah, it doesn't matter, it is all credit cards.
Take a look at it.
There you go.
No, no. Who were they? No.
He does that in your neighborhood too.
Oh, where at?
He does that in Wells, up in Kansas.
Okay, I'm going to Valley.
I've been doing it all night.
He does that in
Oh, yeah. It's a mail. So is dispatch. Oh, you spelled that out, because the GPS was anyway. This place over in Newark, and everybody was working.
Tom with the toll, he came back.
Nancy updated the time sheet for the fire department and the road department to replace her additional.
Be careful, be careful,
We're gonna get a deduction from that.
because I know where the bodies are still buried up there.
I'll talk to you.
So are we comfortable with acting on this credit card policy for work-related expenses? Well, I had that. Had that, yeah, so I mean, what dollar limit are you guys comfortable with?
Make a motion, we pass the resolution to the $1,500 limit with all the whereas
Civil authorized for township officers.
and
You feel comfortable with it.
Because if you ever have a big purchase, you need it for, you can always call, up it for that one.
Really, where the association still slack.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
And it's just because it's a new program.
He gave them a ton of money.
Jody?
Where we just got it.
Yes.
Carrie? Yes. Fill that in, sign it in.
But it's funny, it's, he is,
Yeah.
they got out, but it's.
Thanks for doing that update on the time sheet.
She just wanted us to look at it.
It helps out the dog all the time. He knows the whole. He told me. He told us.
She was doing
It's still
stuff,
going down.
just listening to her stuff.
Which is kind of nuts.
You're smart.
You have any copies of these? I can bring more also, yeah.
Do we have to make a motion to change the time sheet?
Also, the wedding teacher, he was off for a while.
Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had, surgery. That's good. Through Christmas.
I don't know either, so.
I'm on this one, yes.
You're what?
I'm on this one.
Thank you. Okay, so the fire department time sheets you will sign, he will also initial.
Okay.
Oh, no, never. No, that's what we done. He said,
She's the librarian.
Yep, she took Edna's spot.
She's, what, in a year or two, she's gone?
I don't know. I don't know. She's secretary of the union now. I think she's been for a while.
Well, she's been there.
That's a good point.
We actually just want to
Because he,
know the
a lot of them left last year.
Do we want to, even though it would have our name on it, do we want to have other people that can
What's,
sign it?
in charge of the fax lab?
She just have that, have by the Union Township.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's not.
Administrators.
Can you guys speak up so we can all hear you?
We're going to have the township cards be, just under Madison Township.
Okay.
I was thinking that they would be under our names and then we would have other signers like Darren and Doug, but they'll just be,
So who's gonna be in possession of the cards?
It'd be held by the fiscal officer.
Are those gonna be through Park?
yeah, we had that.
That was the
Application.
application.
Yeah.
Somebody brought us, was it you? Was it you that got it? Yeah.
Because there've been some changes in the cards.
No, I didn't know if we needed to fill out the thing, but that's where Nancy is.
The stuff's at the auditors, so, and this is what, marks in their litigation letter, so.
Yeah, Wilson, Phillips, and Egan CPAs from Zanesville, Ohio are in the process of conducting our biennial township audit through the period of December 31st, 2014.
There's my notes about these little.
Yeah, turn the heater on.
Yeah, we deal with it.
Here is the, rates for the health insurance. Okay.
Dude, you can mess up a 1/3 chunk there.
He also gave us.
She gave it, no, this is Nancy, she wanted us to see it. It's from the cards that were.
Yeah.
And Mark and
I like it all.
That's what I thought too. What is this?
I get those kind of
Are
faxes
you going to
all the
Cancun,
time.
Puerto
No,
Vallarta, Jamaica, or
I
Hawaii?
don't know how to stop those.
Is that where the next
I
meeting
get
is?
probably one or two.
Yeah.
No, okay, I've
I
already
saw
got
this
it.
really cool one in the Columbus Dispatch today, take a train ride in Canada for $600, $900 a couple, and it was all these nights and everything, then you read the small print. That's the extras, you get $900 worth of extras, but it's $2,300 per person first. $5,000 to ride a train, I'll go to the mall. Pay $5, ride the little one.
Maybe you could write it twice.
Yes, okay. Is this our new?
Rates for the insurance.
And then Gretchen, sent us about, we do health insurance reimbursements that, must use the intro, so I think that's something we need to find a little more about, because I think because of the Obama healthcare thing, reform is changing the rules, so I think that's something we need to check into further.
That'd be something we need to ask someone at the county, because that's where we got that information to start with. Because the county did the same thing.
Right, yeah.
So,
But I think now, like this change.
it's gonna change back.
Is it?
It's got to.
You may wanna check with your insurance provider, because they should be up to date on these rules as well.
Okay.
Because normally that's what, when there's a major change, your insurance provider will come in.
And that's what that was actually from,
Okay.
something from her, from one of the insurance things.
Because it's all changing. That's it for now.
Huh?
For now.
Yeah.
Kind of holding that.
Yeah. Is that being put off mute?
I hope not.
That's something Mark can do.
Yeah, but sometimes they cycle, once you start to cycle, you've got a lot.
Insurance, vehicle card.
For all the vehicles that kind of tie in with the inventory and stuff, unless you want us to do that. You wanna make a copy of all that?
I think it's just that it's all.
They're not specific to the vehicle. We all received an email of the grassroots cookies newsletter from
Yeah.
OTA. And also under separate cover for correspondence, each should have received a letter in the mail probably yesterday. Letter from citizens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I did, yes.
Okay. Anything else?
Citizen comments.
Is it citizen comment time or?
We didn't prepare to have comments at tonight's meeting, but if you have something briefly you want to discuss or get on the agenda for the next meeting?
I guess it's already 7, so maybe
Well, I mean,
I could do. I was just asking if you're having one, that's all.
we didn't get it on the agenda.
They didn't have them at the last meeting either.
What's the point of those? They just come down here.
Gordon's got his hand up and he's looking right at me and I don't
Yeah,
know what to say.
Gordon?
I don't mean to be intimidating.
No, you're not.
Have you eliminated public comments from the agenda altogether?
It hasn't been on the last few agendas.
Why?
Because
Why?
of, because of the length of the meetings and stuff. I mean, if you guys have something you wanna say, go ahead and say it. I mean, if it's for the good of the order.
I got a couple questions. One is perfect.
How much time you guys wanna allow for this? I don't care. I mean, you wanna have comments?
One to two
I mean, in all
minutes.
fairness, we waited for your executive session. So I mean, if their citizens have something to say, I think it should be heard.
Well, I agree with that.
You're in charge.
That's right.
At one time, we did a 3-minute thing.
So what's the
Y'all,
pleasure of the board?
that was, a few years ago, we had that in the minutes and stuff, that
Gordon, I think you're on the clock.
we would open it for 3 minutes.
I think I'd like to see us do it for 3 minutes tonight, but then going forward, have public comment where the people call ahead of time to ask to be put on the agenda, like they do for the school board and things like that.
We can take that into consideration. So who wants to go first, Nick?
Sure, I just wanted to, I talked to Jody on the email. I mean, if you want to talk about it, I can, it doesn't matter.
Well, it was put in the minutes just like this, and you were not here when we, at the beginning of the meeting, when we had the minutes. Jody asked Nick Garber if he had cleaned or cleared the fire department computers. He stated he had not cleaned or cleared any department computers.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure that,
Yes.
that was at the last meeting.
I was
missed
comfortable
that.
with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, do you want me to expound on that?
I would.
I had heard that rumor, and it completely shocked me, because Nick and I have had several conversations outside of township meetings and things like that, and I thought that I could attest to his character, so I found that very, I guess, upsetting, and I wanted to clear that up, because I thought for sure that it wasn't possible, and he cleared it up, just like it says in the minutes. I asked, he responded, issue over.
Okay. Let's see.
I just wondered, are we continuing to table the volunteer applicants? Wasn't there a stack of volunteer applicants?
There was a couple that were presented.
Mm-hmm.
6.
How many was it? No, I don't, it doesn't matter. I just wondered, are we,
We have 2 applications
okay.
that I'm aware of.
I just wondered if we were gonna hire anybody else, because I think we got vacancies on the fire department. I was just curious as a citizen, I guess. If we're gonna do that.
We don't have an updated roster. I mean, if we take that, build that from the VIP list that was, the paperwork that was turned in this evening.
I was just wondering if they're sitting in limbo. I think they got tabled a couple meetings ago.
I think they've been tabled for 2 meetings.
Okay. I can skip the rest of it. Let's see. I just wanted to know about the public comment time, which you guys kind of cleared that up a little bit.
Okay.
So, if Gordon wanted to go, or whoever.
Okay.
Melissa?
I have public records request. And I'll give you that, and a copy of what I would like.
Okay.
And a copy of the minutes. You approved them tonight from last meeting. Okay, I'll take those tonight and make 3 copies. Oh, one more request. Any notes?
Do you want to amend this? I mean, do you want to add something to what's on here?
I can, yeah. I'd like any notes that you've made tonight during the meeting, also included in that public records request.
Okay.
Just Xerox copies of them tonight would be just great.
Well, we need to make sure if we gotta redact anything, or we'll run that through the prosecutor's office.
About public notes during the meeting?
Yes. Because not all notes are public records.
Okay. I'm not sure how that applies when it's not during executive meeting, but okay.
It does.
Thank you.
That's it.
Sure. Gordon, did you want something?
I made a bunch of notes. You're welcome to have a copy of my stuff too. Seriously, did we have the option of renewing that big oak contract at the beginning of the year? And did we do that? And
It's at the prosecutors.
Did it carry over to waste management? Are they required to stick with that?
Yes.
Not required, no.
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
Basically what it is a big oak contract. If you assign it to waste management, then Waste Management has to carry over the contract, all the details of it.
But we haven't done that yet.
It was not done by Madison Township.
It's at the prosecutor's office right now.
What was the deadline, date deadline on that?
There wasn't a deadline on that.
There isn't a deadline to assign it over.
Now, if you're
Yeah,
talking
but
about
didn't
the re-up of the 3-year contract, that was done November 18th.
Okay.
To extend.
Until when?
3 years.
3 years. So we're good for 3 years? She's saying no, and he's saying yes.
We're good for 3 years if we agree to change over to Waste Management. That's where we are.
This presentation on EMS billing in 2 weeks, is that gonna take place during the regular meeting in this room on the meeting night?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to see us initiate a sign-in sheet, and I'd like to see a show of hands of how many people live in Madison Township in this room and pay taxes in Madison Township.
That's a great question.
And I think they really, their comments should be, Madison Township citizens' comments should be taken before any outsiders' comments are taken. That's an old grouchy old man's point of view. And I'd like to make a public records request for a copy of the administrator's job description and his duties as assigned. And I got my dimes ready.
Smart.
Thank you.
He doesn't have to give it to me.
I will, I can if you need me.
Sarah, did you have something else you wanted to add?
The propane, did you shop that around the price of the propane, or did you just go straight to Brownsville propane?
That's where they always got before, and that's why we went there, because we have an account.
Okay.
We can shop it and make sure.
Okay. And is there a reason why we don't do an agenda?
You do agenda, and you approve it wherever needed.
Just not available for everybody?
We used to print copies off and throw them in the trash because nobody ever wanted them. So, I mean, if we can post one here, have it available for the meeting, sure. Anybody else got anything? Any other discussion by the board? The next regular meeting is March 17th at 4:30. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
He's not a big, he's not a big.
Well, we